What's up, guys? In this video, I'll be talking to you guys about Bitcoin and crypto. I'll be talking about the differences between Bitcoin and crypto, how crypto is basically meant to steal money from you and not help you or grow your wealth in any sort of way, and how Bitcoin is. So, looking forward to you guys watching the video. All right, cool. All right, so look, right, to kick things off, we're gonna pick this up with the Bitcoin Uptime tracker. I found this online. I can post this in the chart. Basically, what this is going to show you is Bitcoin's uptime. Just like with a server, you have a server's uptime. This is going to show you how long Bitcoin has been up without any problems. As you can see, Bitcoin has had two problems since August. Let me see where we're at. August 15th, 2010. And then the next one was March 11th, 2013. Now, Bitcoin has been up since March 12th, 2013 at 9:41 a.m., right? And it's always been up since then. They've never had problems since. So, yes, Bitcoin is not perfect. It has had problems in the beginning. And if we click here, we can kind of learn a little bit about what those are. And you guys are going to see why I'm bringing this up in the beginning. So, we go here. It's called BitcoinStackExchange.com. I was looking at some articles on Stack Exchange, and this guy kind of goes into detail about like what happened and why Bitcoin went down. Because someone asked the question in the beginning, and he was like, "All right, so basically, Bitcoin went down around 2010 for 9 hours due to some overflow incident, and it was kicked back on, right? And then it went down once again in 2013 for a chain fork, and eventually it was back on. So Bitcoin had two falls in the beginning of its inception, but since then it's been up with 99.9% uptime since it went down in 2013, right? So Bitcoin is not perfect, but Bitcoin does have some flaws, and it's had flaws in the past. Boom, just want to throw that out there for you guys to see, right? Because I'm not trying to just make Bitcoin seem like it's perfect, because it's not. It's had flaws in the beginning, and we're still working on Bitcoin to get it to where it needs to be, right? Improving the system and stuff, right? So let's move on. So everybody's favorite shitcoin, right? If you guys don't know, XRP is missing its Genesis block as well as 33,000 of its other missing blocks in the beginning, I guess. And basically, this guy was asking a question about um, what's the story behind some of the missing blocks, right? And so, he asked the question here, and then, like, as you can see, there are a couple people down here who have kind of answered it, and they're like, well, since January 2013, a bug in the server shut it down or something like that. What did it say? But all data from all running Ripple servers was collected, but it was insufficient to construct the ledgers. The raw transactions still survived, mixed with other transactions and with no information about which transaction went in which ledger. Without the ledger headers, there's no easy way to reconstruct the ledgers. You need to know the hash of ledger n-1 to build the ledger n, which complicates things. And he posts some link. And then there are a couple other guys, and one of the guys, which I thought was kind of funny, he says, "To be honest, I don't care about this yet. Yes, it's a flaw, but damn, everything has some flaws. And considering all of it, it doesn't matter anymore. I'd rather they focus on getting liquidity than worrying about something that can't be dealt with. Future is more important than the past." In my opinion, I think that the past, especially when it comes to being able to verify the history of a blockchain, is important, because if not, then you have a system that we have today, right, with our current monetary system. So with gold, right, when was the last time that we did an audit on gold, right? Or when was the last time we did an audit on the amount of dollars that are in the current system, right? Never. We've never done an audit on the amount of dollars in the system, and we probably never will. For gold, I think the last time was like 1930 something, and we probably never will. I know you guys saw the news with Trump saying he was going to do an audit at Fort Knox and all sorts of bullshit, but it didn't happen, right? So, without trust and being able to actually see what's going on with our blockchain, then how can it be something that's seen as like good money, right? How can it be seen as something that's good for the end user, right? So I just kind of want to put that out there for you guys to see. And then the last sort of slide I want to put out there is some recent Ledger or Ripple XRP outages and issues with their token, right? So we have a bunch of degraded services just this year alone, and some of last year as well. And it shows the time that it was down, right? So they've had one, two, three, four, five. They had five degraded services or outage issues within the past year. Yeah. So I don't think that I don't think me personally I wouldn't put my value or my wealth in XRP. It doesn't seem like it would grow it as well as not that it would grow it. I just don't. I would not trust it as much as I would trust Bitcoin. Right, putting my money, my wealth, my energy into Bitcoin compared to putting it into XRP. Right. In my opinion, I think it's a no brainer to go Bitcoin. XRP doesn't make sense. Another thing with XRP is that their tokens were pre-mined prior to them releasing them to the public. Right before the token was created for the public to buy, there were a lot of shareholders and insiders who were able to buy the tokens, and then after that, they sold them to the public, waited on the price of the token to go up, and then as the price went up to a desired amount, the insiders sold off, and basically they dumped their bags, used the public as exit liquidity, and they're still doing that to this day. So when it comes to placing my money into Bitcoin or XRP, I'm going Bitcoin because there was no pre-mined Bitcoin. There is no CEO of Bitcoin. Nobody made Bitcoin to take advantage of people. The guy who made Bitcoin made it because he was sick and tired of what's going on in the current financial system and he wanted to change. So yeah, when it comes to which one I'm going to buy and which one I would rather grow my wealth with, I'm going Bitcoin. So one of the main things that I really, really don't like is how people compare Bitcoin and crypto, right? So like I always tell people when talking about Bitcoin that or just Bitcoin and crypto in general that there's Bitcoin and then there's crypto, right? So you have two different things. In my opinion, I think that Bitcoin is the one and only real cryptocurrency, right? If you will. And crypto is just like something that political leaders and people who are just trying to like get rich quick have made to make it seem like they're creating something that's good for the public, right? I don't think that crypto is good in any form of way. Um the main like the first reason I could think of is like think about like back in like 2016, 2015, 2017 where Bitcoin was literally labeled as like, oh, like it's used for criminals, right? Like nobody uses Bitcoin except for people who are trying to like launder money or do something crazy like that. And look at where it is today. You have people, nation states buying Bitcoin. You have individuals using Bitcoin as a store of value. You have merchants using Bitcoin. So like think about like how like from where it came from, the media labeling it as something negative or used for malicious activity to now it's being used as okay, this is good, like you guys should do this, and crypto, right? To before it was Bitcoin was evil or bad, and now crypto was good. Oh, but now you guys should use crypto and Bitcoin. It's like no, like it doesn't. I see Bitcoin as something that was trying to be controlled, but it just couldn't be, right? Bitcoin and crypto are two different things. Bitcoin is completely different than XRP or Solana or whatever else. Like whatever other cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is it outgrows it, it destroys it. There's nothing else but Bitcoin in my eyes. One, because I've done the research, and I think that if anybody has done the research, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So other Bitcoiners, they know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, and I guess I should probably address like why like downtime matters when talking about like downtime with XRP or Solana or whatever other cryptocurrency, right? Or even Bitcoin. Downtime matters because if XRP goes down 30-40% of the time, how can it be used as money for the banking system or for individuals to use, right? Like if the currency or the token itself is down, how can you actually use it, right? It's just like your credit card going down, like Visa going down. How the hell can anybody use Visa credit cards if they're down, or Amex cards if the service itself is down? Doesn't make sense. Like you wouldn't want to use it. You want to use something that's reliable and that's always up all the time, right? I.e., Bitcoin. Granted, Bitcoin has been down twice in the past, like I said, 10 years ago, and they haven't had one since. So, I mean, yeah, it's 99.9% reliable. And I already talked about this, but I'll still talk about it and just kind of wrap up with this. But the reason that Bitcoin is different is because there is no CEO. Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million. I mind you, other cryptocurrencies, they don't have, first off, they have a CEO or someone or some company or organization who made the token and have some sort of malicious intent behind it, whether they say so or not. They normally don't have a fixed supply. Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million. Most cryptocurrencies don't. They have a supply that can increase, just like the dollar. The dollar can always increase, and these cryptocurrencies can always increase, which is why they won't be a good money. And Bitcoin was never pre-mined, like I said. So there were never a CEO or insiders who were able to mine or gather up tokens and then shit on the public after they release it to them and use the public as exit liquidity. That was never a thing. And Bitcoin is something that's here to provide you with real sovereignty. It's supposed to give the user back its control. It's not just something that's looking at you as exit liquidity, or it's not something that was sold to you as a dream of, oh, you put $100 in here today, and then next year it's going to make you $1,000 or $2,000 or $20,000 or whatever the hell the case is. Like, it's not something like that. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's something. It's real. It's here to stay, and I hope that by watching my videos, people understand and realize what's going on, and I hope that they take action and attempt to grow them, expand their knowledge, and really understand Bitcoin and take back control of their lives. So yeah, if you guys enjoy my videos, please like, subscribe, comment. I really appreciate it. I've been seeing a lot of comments from just random people recently, and I like it. I love it. Thank you guys, and I look forward to giving you guys more content and going from there. So thanks. Sovereignty out.